Hey guys, I'm Arcanosaur, and today I have 7 quick tips to help you improve at Halo Reach. These are intermediate tips that are focused on Halo Reach, but for the most part do apply across all Halos, so hopefully new players and veterans can learn something. That's all for the intro, now let's get right into it. Tip number 1 is find your sensitivity. Aiming is all muscle memory, so you want to find a good sensitivity for you and stay with it for good. You want it slow enough to be precise and consistent, but not too slow where you can't change targets well. A good starting point in-game is 2.0 sends at 800 DPI, or if you were to measure the distance for a 360 on your mousepad at that sensitivity, it would be 12 inches. Just tweak above or below that to your liking and make sure mouse acceleration is off. If you already have a sensitivity you like in another game, you can convert it. You can do this by measuring the distance of 360s in both games, or you can use a mouse sensitivity converter online. Tip number 2 is control the power weapons. In order to control power weapons effectively, you need to have map knowledge, which comes with playing. Also knowing the locations of the weapons, which I do have videos on, so check those out if you need help finding them. On most 4v4 maps, you're going to have to fight for power weapons like rockets. Make sure you do this because even if you don't use them well, the enemy team not having them makes a big difference. Tip number 3 is grenade usage. One of my pet peeves is when people throw grenades when they can just DMR the Spartan in front of them instead. Don't throw nades unless you're outnumbered, your opponent is hiding, or is unaware. Save your nades for pre-nading, which is just nading before you see an enemy, and groups. You're far better off just getting 2 shots on target than hoping for the nade to take off their shields in almost every 1v1 scenario. If you start off fights with throwing a nade, then you're pretty much dead no matter what if your nade doesn't land, since they've already put shots on you while in animation. Tip number 4 is stay with your teammates. This one's pretty simple, just stay with your team. It will drastically reduce how much you die if this is something you don't do. If you hear your team fighting, make sure you try to assist them. Team DMRing is very strong and should be done whenever possible. If you see an enemy across the map, put some shots on them. Even if you know you can't kill them, shooting that enemy one extra time can make all the difference for your team. Tip number 5 is know when to fall back. First off, don't expose yourself with no shields. When your shields go down, you should always be falling back or hiding if possible. If you see yourself at a disadvantage, fall back to some teammates or a better position so you can have the advantage again. When retreating in Halo, if you look straight down, you can hide your head from being shot. This is called strong siding. Do this if you're low shields and running from a fight. But remember, good positioning can prevent all of this. Tip number 6 is be unpredictable. Just think about what you're doing. Try not to take the common pathways. Practice strafing, it can win you fights. Strafing's all about being unpredictable. So don't jump in fights because your movement is super predictable when in the air. Try to only use jumps towards the end of fights, just to make them miss their final shots. Tip number 7 is learn from your mistakes. This one's pretty important. If you really want to get better, you need to constantly look back at your mistakes and find what you could have done to improve upon them. You can always just try to look back and avoid doing what got you killed previously, but the best thing to do is to record your gameplay and rewatch it later. You will be able to notice things you never noticed before while playing, and it'll make it a lot easier to find what you need to improve upon. That's all the tips I have for you guys. If you made it this far, please leave a like and let me know if they were helpful. Also consider subscribing for more Halo videos, and as always, thanks for watching.